Yep, yep.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome back. This is The Galaxy Last Week, September 11th, and I'm the Gerbil. Before we get started with today's episode, that's actually, I have no doubt, going to be really, really amazing, I would like to just take a moment and pay a little respect to Queen Elizabeth II, who you all know passed this week. I am not a British citizen or a member of the United Kingdom, but I work with a lot of people from the UK and the Commonwealths, which include Australia, Canada, and many other places. And many of my friends and colleagues were mourning their loss, and I just want to say my heart goes out to you. I hope you're all okay. Moving on, this week has been incredible for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. There is so much news to talk about, and as such, I want to remind you that this show is an overview, not an in-depth analysis. However, in the description below, I will post several links to places that you can find a lot more detail about what I'm going to cover. I also try to put my own little spin on it and perspective about how it may affect our game going forward, and I've got several thoughts today about that, especially for early to mid-game players. Alright, let's get started. Oh, and one more thing. Today's video took an incredible amount of time to put together, so I would really appreciate it if you could spare 3 to 5 seconds and click those like and subscribe buttons, especially if you find this information helpful. Thanks so much. Let's do it, shall we? Here we go. So first on our list is Boushh. I'm going to say Boushh, but I may slip and say Boushh. There is no right way to say the name so far. It has been explicitly explained by some much smarter people, and you can go look at some other channels and Disney. They have not published an official way to say the name yet, so I'm going to say Boushh. Anyway, Boushh hit the tables today, and I am ecstatic and a little worried, but it is a fantastic character. Boushh is a Hutt cartel, a really solid leader for the Hutt cartel, it seems so far. A lot of fun with Jawas as she makes things go boom. And yes, it is actually Leia Boushh, right? In Return of the Jedi, when we see her in disguise, the real bounty hunter Boushh is already dead, and she's trying to pass herself off, as we know. It's a extended marquee. Normal marquees are 7 days, so I'm speculating that that is a clock countdown to when Jabba the Hutt is made available, or a title update, as indicated that there will be one in the coming weeks, which is mentioned in the road ahead, which we'll get to. The synergies are pretty accurate. There's a lot of testing already out there, and it looks like she's a fantastic character, both with, as I said, Hutt Cartel, also with Jawas, but also light side bounty hunters, and we're getting more and more of them, right? We got Skiff Guard Lando, there's the Mandalorian, there's a few others. I suspect that before this is over, we may very soon have a full squad of 5 light side bounty hunters in the event you choose not to use her with Jabba the Hutt. But I said I'm a little worried because this now represents our 3rd Leia in the game, and I in particular have been waiting for one other Leia, which I'll get to. In fact, CG even kind of acknowledged this. They said, with a brief amount of screen time, Boushh made a huge impression, which is true. A lot of us had toys of Boushh growing up. I did. I loved it. I'm like trying to remember if I still have it in storage somewhere. I had no idea that's what the character's name was, but truly loved the outfit, loved the helmet, loved the language. Extremely memorable character. But as they recognized, Boushh had only a couple moments in the movie and only a couple of lines. So it got me wondering, who is the most popular character in terms of length of screen time? Well, Luke was in 26% or 34 minutes of Return of the Jedi. Leia, and I didn't make this graphic, I wouldn't have gone with Slave Leia, but Leia was second. The second most visible character in the movie with 21 minutes of screen time, or on screen 16% of the time. So the concern is, now that we have a 3rd Leia, are we going to get a GL Leia? It seems unlikely. However, I'm a firm believer that capital games exist to collect capital, money, and there's substantial opportunity for the next GL. We do not have a Rebel GL still, and most people did not continue to gear their Ewoks after they unlock C-3PO, and this is a prime opportunity. As a GL Leia from Andor especially, 40th anniversary, which they've already said we're getting more characters for, is a great opportunity to encourage more Ewoks, especially if she has maybe not as the primary function, but sideline Ewok synergies, which would make sense, but I can make an entire video about that. Oh, wait, I have. But I'd like to update it now that we got GL Jabba, so stay tuned. Another really interesting thing, though, with the Boushh character is that it introduces our first raid Omicron. Now, I'm not going to go into details about what it does. You can go read the kit, and again, there's better analogies or analysis out there. But it does do something very interesting that I'm not hearing many people talk about. It provides a highly viable raid solution for early to mid-game players who are not soloing raids yet, who are in guilds that still take a little time for Sith raid, or who are struggling, especially with the Sea Pit raid. This Omicron, I've already seen 1 or 2 vids where people are posting about 2 million damage, which is not insane, blow your mind away, but 2 million damage is a solid amount for any team. I mean, a lot of them, like, you take CLS and you're lucky to get 400,000 or 500,000, maybe 700, maybe 8 if you get a good run, and it does depend on the phase. So I know, before you slam me in the comments down below, but 2 million is a solid contribution to the raid. So for early to mid game players, or even honestly people like me, I have about 8 million GP, but I'm in a highly competitive guild that blow through the raid pretty quickly, and I seldom make top 10 because I just A, don't have the right lineup, or B, don't have the time to dedicate to it. So a raid Omicron is actually quite viable for a lot of people. It's easy for content makers like myself to say, oh, everybody is autoing CPIT, when reality is no. Maybe 5 to 10% of the entire gaming community is completing the CPIT, probably less. In the big picture of the 500,000 to 1 million players out there, the vast majority are not completing the CPIT raid still. So I think that this is a really nice one from CG. So back to the 40th anniversary. Notice that the artwork from Skiff Lando and Boushh is the same. Of course, they're both, for Jabba the Hutt Cartel, makes sense. But in the when Skiff Lando came out, they had this note in the developer insight that said, our first Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary celebration character. Clearly, Boushh is the second, unless I missed something. But that very likely means that we will be getting more. I would love to know what your thoughts are. Put it in the description down below, but I seriously am holding my breath for Nippet. I think Nippet could bring a whole to the game. Yeah, Nippet is a baby Ewok. They made a bobblehead, and there's a Lego, and there's some commemorative statues out there that include Nippet. So you never know. I mean, we got a Funko Pop bobblehead, right? It could happen. I don't think so. Okay, other news from the devs. Raven's Claw is now farmable on Battle Node 2E. I've actually been having incredibly good drop rates from it. Every time I do, the 5 full sims, I've since it's happened, I've got 2 from each of those. I'm refreshing it 3 times a day. I have had minimum 6 drops a day from the 2 refreshes. So 6 out of 15, I mean, that's a solid 40%. I couldn't be happier with that, other than unless they just gave it away for free, but it seems like the drop rate is pretty good, or I've just been lucky and now jinxed myself. Hyperdrive bundle, for a couple more days, it's 50% off. It is absolutely the best bundle in the game, regardless of your level. If you are a new player, it is phenomenally worth it. And if you are a veteran player, the gear alone is worth it, plus all the other stuff in there. Just a reminder, you do not get shards for the characters you already have at whatever it is, 7 stars, 5 stars, whatever the bundle gives you. Those shards just disappear, sadly. But whatever, moving on. So Jabba the Hutt, we got our 3rd set of requirements. Boushh, Aurora Singh, Aurora Singh, oh my gosh. Fennec Shand, Boba Fett, and Mob Enforcer. This is awesome. This Jabba the Hutt is really, really accessible. And I have a theory. I'm not the only one out there. I heard a recent discussion on, I think it was a HoloNet News podcast. I was already thinking this as well. I totally agree with what they were saying, but I think that the Jabba the Hutt Galactic Legend may be targeted specifically for early to mid gamers. I don't think Jabba the Hutt is going to be top of the tier when it comes to GLs versus GL. Of course, it's still a GL, so it's probably going to kick butt. But I mean, when you break down the kit, the requirements, look at this. 3 R3s, 1 R4, 3 R5s, those are very accessible. 2 R6s, which is kind of odd. 4 R7s, that's high, but only 1 R8 and no relic 9s. The only R8 is Han Solo, who is an absolute amazing character no matter what, should be a must-have early game. And he's farmable where? In the pit raid versus the Rancor, which is Jabba's little pet, of course. That's just kind of a cute little coinky-dink. Otherwise, Jabba the Hutt is going to be raid focused, territory battle focused, which is what new and mid game players tend to need help with. Finnick is an amazing character, no matter what, can drop a couple GLs if you totally do it right. And then, yes, Jedi Knight Luke is hard, but Jedi Knight Luke, in the quest for that, I think you need Chewbacca. So now you can have Chewbacca, Han Solo, C-3PO, and you have 3 of the core 5 essential for the CLS team, which is another epically powerful early, mid, and even late game squad. And then, of course, you're getting a lot of bounty hunters, which have a lot of bounty hunter events. So this GL actually like spiders out for early new game players in so many great ways. I think it's very, very accessible almost to any tier, and I'm super happy for the requirements as they are. Now, we also got a Mob Enforcer update, which pretty cool. The kit is not too bad. In fact, I think it's very game playable now. The new model, I think, looks really good. I love the texturing on the vest and the shirt and the... Wait a second. Let's zoom in on those hands, shall we? Oh, wrong way. Here we go. Let's zoom in on those hands, and wow, does that look bad? Yep, sorry. So the elbow on the right arm and the hand got considerably worse. I think they ran out of money. They probably started on the other side and they updated, like, you know, right to left, and then just ran out of money and said, we're done, moving on. Whatever, though, I don't mean to complain. I think it's a fantastic upgrade. The face is so much better. The detail is a lot better overall. And I love seeing older characters get upgrades. So well done, CG. Thank you for this one. Also, well done, CG. There's been a lot of chatter, as you might have heard, about hacking and getting free crystals. Turns out it's not free. Somebody inside Electronic Arts, Capital Games, somewhere over there in their support, was literally selling characters and crystals and whatnot, and they got busted. And CG says over the weekend we discovered approximately 50 accounts that have been unfairly credited, and they have been banned. I hope that wasn't you, and I'm going to move on. Hey, Road Ahead. Oh my gosh. So Road Ahead, I am not going to cover this in, again, extreme depth, just a summary here. Jabba the Hutt, abilities, kit discussion, not a kit reveal, but discussion, cartel mechanics, new territory battle, quality of life, mod updates, economy changes. So much happened. They posted it as a video once again. Thank you, CG. That is so much fun to be able to see the humans on the other side of the website and like, even though it's only one-sided, engage with you, I guess we could say. Jabba the Hutt. Oh my gosh. So this is not the final graphics, but the ultimate is a Rancor eating or killing a character, and it's a repeatable one. It's not a one and done like Akbar's Hope, which just sucks for territory battles. He's going to be a support character, but he's not a pacifist, as they say, as Salacious Crumb will jump off of his model and distribute thermal detonators. Speaking of thermal detonators, the kit is introducing, in their own words, a new meta with thermal detonators. Interesting. Meta means most efficient tactical advantage. Bet you didn't know that. Anyway, special node is being added to both the Hoth and Geo territory battles that will be exclusively accessible by Jabba. Again, beneficial to everybody, but probably more so early and mid-game players, especially since it's in Hoth battles. Then there will be additional unique synergies, bonuses, whatever, we don't know yet, for raids. Again, beneficial to early and mid-game players. So pretty cool stuff happening here. Also in the Road Ahead, oh my gosh, if you don't know what this is, this is going to blow you away. It's a new territory battle with multiple pathways. And instead of having light side, dark side, Hoth territory, and Geos, we have one territory battle that is extensible and scalable, meaning they can add new nodes to it and grow it. What we're looking at, again, is not the final thing. It's probably going to change quite a bit between now and release date, but there are pathways for light side characters, dark side characters, and mixed factions, which is great because there are so many mixed factions, especially bounty hunters and Hutt Cartel. The territory battle itself is going to start its time, not necessarily time specific, it is more like journey related, that it's going to start kind of at the dawn of the Empire and go up to the completion of the establishment of the Death Star, which makes me wonder if there will be, the next thing on the table will be a Death Star raid finally, since we're going to battle our way up to the Death Star, then have a Death Star raid after it. And guess who has like a raid Omicron? Although I don't see how that would fit in a Death Star raid. Boushh, probably not. Scratch that. But I'm hopeful, right? Hopeful. They did say, though, specifically that this Territory Battle 3 is designed for advanced top-end guilds. So expect it to be something similar to, I don't know, light side Geonosians, although hopefully this one is actually going to be, at the moment, completable. It's coming by the end of the year, in quotes, because they also said end of the year, blah, 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 hopefully. So again, hopefully we'll see it. Now, a lot of people are not happy about this one, but at launch, there will be a light side, or a Territory Battle 3 exclusive character, Reeva, who is the third sister, Inquisitor, and they kind of gloss over that real quick because they know Inquisitors are not popular. And I don't think that I would love to see the community reassess this. Inquisitors themselves are actually a very good faction once you get Grand Inquisitor and modded correctly. They're really solid, like B++, A-, I don't know, but be angry at capital gains for the false representation, false advertising, whatever. I get that. Be angry at the 18 or so Galacticon challenges we had. Fine, that's fine. But the team themselves, they are good, and I am really, really happy I farmed them. I used them consistently, 65 banners at the Kyber 2-3 level in Grand Arena, and they have made Galactic Conquest really easy. They walk through with that the data disk. Oh, I can't think of what it is. The one that every time an enemy loses health at 170 and 30% rates, you gain offense and whatever. It's just, they just destroy. It is so good. Anyway, third sister is coming to the game. She is the exclusive Territory Battle character, but they also said at launch, which suggests there will be more on different nodes that can be added as the game develops. They said that the Territory Battle is actually designed, as I said, to be extensible, so that when the new Ahsoka show comes out, Bad Batch Season 2 comes out, whatever, they can start plugging in more planets to venture out to. So I think this is going to be truly fun, and I can't wait for it to happen. Also, at the road ahead, we got a really good discussion and introduction to mod calibration. I've read so much on Discord about people worrying that they can wreck their good mods by rolling things and getting worse stats. They said repeatedly in the road ahead video, but again, they've not always stuck to their word, that is Capital Games. They said that it only makes your mods better. They were very specific to say this a couple of times, but essentially what this does, a new mod gear or currency is being introduced that is called the mod attenuator, and it will allow you to re-roll a 6-mod substat. So not the primary, but let's say you got like 4 speeds and a defense, and you don't want that defense. You could re-roll it, hoping it lands to get all 5 speed, or offense or crit or potency or whatever you need, right? They're really trying to say that this is going to enable you to more easily obtain your perfect mod for your perfect character. Along with that, they talked about some economy changes, and there was a lot of things both in text and in the video, but some of the highlights is that they're going to make mod upgrade materials and slicing materials a lot more accessible. They're putting things in the mod battles. They're putting things in the store that you can buy with shard shop currency. They're also eliminating the 3 and 4 dot mods from the mod farming nodes, the final tier 3 ones, whatever those are. And they're doing a lot of things that are going to make it more streamlined, including like the drop rate for all mods when you're farming them. Like the triangle used to be the hardest to get. That's not your imagination. They were not balanced. Like you had like a 30% chance of getting a square and like a 10% for a triangle, which made it impossible to get like that perfect triangle mod that you want with the right master and the subset. So that should be a lot easier now. Also, they're flattening territory war rewards. So if you're in a guild where you're constantly like in the bottom 20, 40th rank, whatever, in the territory battles or wards, whatever, sorry, you will get a more balanced result, right? Territory battles. I think I said war. Territory battle results. Sorry about that. But one of my favorite quality of life updates is at the bottom of the screen here. It says, we have highlighted speed secondaries in the store and batch managed views. This, sincerely, is well appreciated because the font is like 3 points on my phone. So hard to see. I'm certain that's why I'm going blind. But the highlighting will make it a whole lot easier to see. So thank you again, CG. Excellent quality of life. Can we please get ship loadouts? Please? Please? I mean, I got like 10 capital ships now. Hey, if you want to know more about the road ahead, check out these vids here from Scribe Gaming and SWGoH and Xerath Prevails. These two channels are among my favorites for just like really consistent, more in-depth detail. Scribe has, I think, a fantastic presentation method. He really puts things, I think, in a very easy to understand way. SWGoH and Xerath go into a lot more detail, a lot more, I think, focused towards in-gamers, late gamers, but still really, really good content. Check out their channels. They will talk about the road ahead a lot more detailed than I will. Also, we got 3v3 GAC coming up. So from the community back to Xerath again. He just posted 2 excellent videos, best 3v3 defense and best 3v3 offense. Now, as he will say, I will remind, everyone's roster is different. So don't watch just one video and think that's the end all be all. Check out Arnold's, check out Xerath's, check out mine even. Like, I'm not the best at this, but I posted one recently. I think it's pretty decent. Link in the description to both Xerath's and mine. Anyway, 3v3 is coming up. I tend to excel in 3v3. I don't do so well in 5v5, so I am excited, ready to go. Speaking of Arnold, he posted a video today. You may fire when ready, Tarkin said in the movie, right? 9.6 million damage from Tarkin. Apparently there's an interaction where on full automatic, Tarkin will take turn after turn after turn after turn after turn after turn. When teamed with Admiral Piet, you get in those stacks of inevitable failure, blah, 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 blah. I don't know how it works exactly, but he just controls the turn meter, constant looping, and then what you do is you take it off auto with few moments left in the game, and you use his AoE, and boom, nukes everybody, and hopefully your phone does not crash, as some people have said it did kill their phones. So anyway, it's pretty fun. Check it out. Be aware, though, in GAC, if you go up against this squad and Tarkin takes a turn, you will likely time out, as the computer, the AI, is not going to stop for the AoE. It will just repeat his third or second special over and over, where he's just debuffing everybody, and you will lose, right? So be very, very, very careful now when attacking. If you see Tarkin suddenly out there with Emperor Palpatine and you're like, what's going on? Check the datacron. If they have that one right there, be careful. Just be careful. Back to the Jabba GLs. Somebody posted this over on Reddit, link in the description. This is really, really cool. This chart shows you all of the relic requirements and some sub-farming requirements for the GLs. And aside from Jedi Knight Luke, again, Jabba is very accessible. Again, there's one R8, but it's Han Solo. I mean, like, who doesn't want an R8 Han Solo, right? But he's very, very accessible, and comparatively to the most recent ones, Jedi Master Kenobi and Lord Vader, he is way more accessible. So pretty cool stuff there. Tales of the Jedi, a spoiler. We're getting it next month in October. And man, does this look cool. It's from the same people who did Clone Wars and The Bad Batch, so if you like those, you're going to love this. We get to see Yadle in action. We get to see Padme's funeral. I don't want to give too many spoilers. We get to see Jedi Count Dooku. And that little dude here in the bottom left, that is another Inquisitor, an earlier one. But again, Capital Games forced Inquisitors. So many people feel. I tend to look at it and say you didn't have to play that, right? It's a game, but whatever. A lot of people feel that they were forced Inquisitors. Fine, but they've also said you're gonna need them, and I've been warning you're gonna need them. So we may be getting yet another one from Tales of Jedi down the road. I mean, I don't know. I'm all for it. I love the faction, but I know. Okay, moving on. Rebels. We got some Rebels news, and it's not really Rebels. It's the Ahsoka show, but it's also like Rebels Season 5. We are now confirmed Ezra Bridger live action is going to be in Ahsoka, played by Eamon Esfandi. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Eamon Esfandi. I should look it up, but the appearance as a live action is amazing. I think it's a perfect selection for him. There's a link here to the video. You can check this out. This is from Eckhart's Ladder. It's one of his shorter clips though. And then you know, just Google it if you want to know more. But so Ezra Bridger is coming to live action, which means we may also be seeing Thrawn, because, well, I can't give it away. If you haven't seen Rebels, you'll understand. If you have seen Rebels, I mean, you'll understand. If you haven't, you need to watch Rebels. But we may be seeing a live-action Thrawn now that we are confirmed a live-action Ezra. So, awesome. Also, we got some great news this week about the Acolyte. If you watched and enjoyed Squid Game, then you're going to be tickled here, because one of the Squid Game's main characters, played by Lee Jung-jae, is coming to the Acolyte as a lead male character. It's expected or rumored he will be playing a Sith Lord. We're also getting... Oh my gosh, Jodie Turner-Smith. Her name's not there. Apologies. Jodie Turner-Smith is coming. There's her name. And we may have a leak on a final release date, finally, for Bad Batch Season 2 being January 4th. Turns out it was posted on some Disney Plus channels around the world, but not everywhere. So Jodie Turner-Smith is coming. Lee Jung-jae is coming. It looks awesome. Finally, I always end with the calendar, but there's really nothing to say, so I'm not going to say it other than thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you later on the holotables. And once again, if you did, please hit that like button. I would appreciate it. All right. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I'm going to bed now. Bye.